Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this broadcast of the Emergency Folk Singing System. I'm Joe Jencks, your tour guide this evening, and thanks for tuning in. I'm delighted to be in partnership this evening with the Garden Stage out in Garden City, Long Island, a concert series that's been going for about 18 years now. Joanne Milosh DeZigo and Steve DeZigo started that 18 years ago, and about 3.5 or 4 years ago, Daria Jamal started picking up the reins there and running the shows there, and her brother Jeff has been helping out, and Lenny runs sound there. He's been doing that for a long time. So I'm missing you all this evening and wishing I could be with you in person, but delighted to have your support for this all-request show. I opened Pandora's box a little bit when I put out an email inviting requests, and there were so many more that came in that I could get to even in a generous evening. So perhaps we'll do another one of these later in the summer. But for now, I'm just going to keep working on the songs and singing the songs, and thank you so much for tuning in. This first one, it's called Flame in the Darkness.
There's a flame in the darkness, burning deep within our hearts, in the love that grows between us. This is where the journey starts. There is hope in the stillness. There is solace in our friends, and in the love that grows between us. This is where the isolation ends. Come full circle in a moment. Hold no shame in what you feel. This whole world will keep on turning, and our broken hearts will heal. When the rain falls around you like your solitary tear, in the love that flows between us, know that thunder holds no fear. In the struggle you hold sacred, when the arrows pierce you through, in the love that flows between us, may your courage be renewed. In each silence, there is promise in each day, and in the love that holds between us, may we always find our way. Come full circle in a moment. Hold no shame in what you feel. This whole world will keep on turning, and our broken hearts will heal. There's a flame in the darkness, burning deep within us in the love that holds between us, sacred journey.
There you go. Thanks so much for that request from several of you, including JC down near Atlanta, and Mary and Bob, and Susan and Hank. Thanks so much. Well, many of you know the story behind this next song. I was swimming in the Klamath River in Northern California, and I almost drowned. No joke. It was one of the scarier moments of my life. And one of the issues was that I was possessed in a moment of an overdeveloped sense of self as a swimmer. I used to be a Red Cross certified lifeguard, and I fancied myself to still be a very strong swimmer. But that was just my ego messing with me, because I had not been a strong swimmer in over a decade. So I got myself in the middle of that wide and fast-moving mountain river, and suddenly I was in over my head. But to my eternal benefit, there was a woman on our retreat that week who was a current Red Cross certified lifeguard. And she jumped in the water with me. And she just started to tread water and invited me to place my hands on her shoulders. She invited me to take a deep breath. So as we start this evening, I invite you all to take a deep breath. We're living in very vivid times, and it's easy to get wrapped up in the stress and the freneticism and forget to just take a deep breath and remember that we're in this stream together.
I feel the current raging around me. Try to summon up my strength once more. I am weary on this journey, afraid I will not reach that distant shore. I cry for help, feel like I'm sinking. There is no one near me I can see, but there you are.
and we will carry on. Absolutely. The request for Flame in the Darkness actually came from Graciela. I'm just remembering, so that was for you. Next up is a song that was written by my dear friend Cy Khan. I released an album about a year and a half ago that was all songs written by Cy Khan. And this is one of my favorites off that record. Talks about the women who worked in the textile mills. It's called Shuttle and Loom, and several of you requested this song.
Down from the mountains when I was 16, milk cows, chickens, taters and beans, sweet spring water out of the hill. I gave it all up and I went to the mill. Shuttle and loom, bobbin and frame. Sometimes I don't even know my own name. What in the world is a woman to do when all that she's got is her shuttle and loom? Shuttle and loom. Hoot owl, graveyard, whistle and sing. Still tell a joke when you're working on swing. Working the day shift, don't make a sound. Running so scared 'cause the boss is around. Shuttle and loom, bobbin and frame. Sometimes I don't even know my own name. What in the world is a woman to do when all that she's got is her shuttle and loom? Shuttle and loom. Where are the mountains? Where are the streams? Where are the rivers I fish in my dreams? Where are the songs my family sung? Where are the days I was carefree and young? Shuttle and loom, bobbin and frame. Sometimes I don't even know my own name. What in the world is a woman to do when all that she's got is her shuttle and loom? Shuttle and loom. Counting the minutes, counting the days, counting the years as my life slips away, swiftly like water out of the hill. Lord help the woman who works in the mill. Shuttle and loom, bobbin and frame. Sometimes I don't even know my own name. What in the world is a woman to do when all that she's got is her shuttle and loom? Shuttle and loom, bobbin and frame. Sometimes I don't even know my own name. What in the world is a woman to do when all that she's got is her shuttle and loom? Shuttle and loom.
Had a bunch of requests for this next song as well. It's a song that I wrote on the morning that Pete Seeger died, based on his testimony in 1955 before the House Un-American Activities Committee. And it's called Let Me Sing You a Song. Come With Me was requested by many people, but in particular by the Peel family and by Sally. You know who you are. Thank you. Ellen, thanks for requesting Shuttle and Loom. And Tony and Susan and Hank, thanks for requesting this one.
You've asked me here to tell you about my neighbors and my friends, to talk about the who and what, the where and how and when. But I won't give you anything you don't already know. But if you'd like, I'll sing that list of songs before I go. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Well, you say it's un-American to do the things I do. Well, I sing for justice, liberty, and civil rights, it's true. Well, I say it's un-American to ask me how I vote, how I pray, or what I believe. But here's a song I wrote. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If you want to send me to prison, I guess that's the way it'll be. 'Cause I won't give you fodder for your paranoid machine. If the price of my silence is shackles, well then fellas, take me away. For I will live to sing again and rise with a brand new day. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Yes, the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night.
Thanks for that. This next one was requested by one of my sisters, Julie, and also by my good friend JC down north of Atlanta. Actually, by several others of you as well, but some of you sent me albums worth of lists. Thank you very much. It's a joy to know that my music lives in your heart and in your life in that way. I think there's no greater hope for a songwriter than to create something that has a life of its own once we release it into the world. And so thank you so much for all the kind emails this last week.
My father was a soldier, he went off to the war. Whatever childhood dreams he had, they were gone forevermore. The solace and the meaning that he found within his life were his faith, his home, his family, and his one true love and wife. All I want is a garden to make the flowers grow. All I want is you beside me in the gentle evening glow. All I want is a peaceful place where I can lay my head, and when the weary night embraces, to lay beside you in our bed. Now I'm a road musician, and I wouldn't trade a day I spent running down my dreams and making friends along the way. But now and then I get to thinking, Daddy had it right. You just give everything you have to love and hold on to the light. All I want is a garden to make the flowers grow. All I want is you beside me in the gentle evening glow. All I want is a peaceful place where I can lay my head, and when the weary night embraces, to lay beside you in our bed. When my life is over, don't carry me away, for I've spent my whole life traveling, and it's here I want to stay. Open up the earth and lay my body down below, and sing a song of heaven, a song to send me home. All I want is a garden to make the flowers grow. All I want is you beside me in the gentle evening glow. All I want is a peaceful place where I can lay my head, and when the weary night embraces, to lay beside you in our bed. All I want is a garden.
Well, this song goes back to 2004 when I wrote it, and it was 2007 when I released it. A little bit of a request from the Wayback Machine. And, it's a song called The Turtle. It's a song about grief and loss and recovery and finding hope, even when we're not sure where to look for it. And it was a song I wrote after my oldest brother passed away. But it's a song that applies to a lot of things, and it seems like there's a whole lot of us that are dealing with a lot of changes and trying to figure out where to find our sense of hope and our sense of possibility, and this song speaks to that as well.
Well, the turtle lays 100 eggs, so a dozen might survive. To wade across that sand and finally reach the sea alive, and haunted by the memories of those fallen from my side. side. I keep reaching for that water, go headlong into the tide. Headlong into the tide, headlong into the tide. As we wander toward our destiny with a shell of guilt and shame, as we contemplate our burdens and consider who's to blame, in the shades of disappointment, shades of sorrow, shades of gray, if we trade our love for anger, then we trade our lives away. Yes, we trade our lives away, trade our lives away. And for what is it we sacrifice? For what is it we gain? If we mistake for knowledge what is only fear and pain, in the face of such absurdity we can only laugh and cry, and the cycle just continues as we breathe and grow and die. As we breathe and grow and die, breathe and grow and die. Well, that isn't it ironic? I have nothing left to say. After all the distance I have come to be with you today, I knew there would be sacrifice, I knew it from the start. But now there's no dream big enough to hold my broken heart, to hold my broken heart, hold my broken heart, to hold my broken heart, hold my broken heart.
There you go, Kate. Thanks. Well, this next song, the next two actually, I'm sending out in part to my dear friend Terry Gonda. Some of you have been watching Facebook and watching the news. Terry is a dear friend of mine, a musician in Michigan, who was let go from her position for being married to a woman. And she's been married to a woman for 9 years while serving this particular church. But because of some loopholes and because of some politics, they decided to let her go this week, only a couple of weeks shy of the natural conclusion of her contract, but they wanted to make a statement. You can go to my Facebook page and see links to articles in the New York Times, the Detroit Free Press. It's really sort of getting all around. But she's one of the most devoted human beings I have ever met, devoted to other people, devoted to the things she believes in. And she and her wife, Kirsty, are two of the most gracious people you'll ever meet. So I'm singing these next two songs for several of you that requested them, but in particular for Terry and Kirsty tonight. One is a song that I wrote for my friend Pat Trudeau's ordination last fall up in Toronto, based on the words of Julian of Norwich, prayer, all will be well. And that's this one. And of course, it wouldn't be a Joe Jencks show if there wasn't an opportunity for me to stop and tune a few times, so I shall. Because everything's better in tune. Had a request for the song Let It Rain tonight. I'm sorry, I won't be getting to that. I have 2 other songs that mention rain. One that I've sung already and one I will sing in a bit. And it's been raining cats and dogs here all day, and I didn't want to tempt fate and flood the basement, so I figured 2 rain songs was enough for one night, but... Nell, you also requested this song. Thank you. As did Thomas.
All will be well. All will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. You find we gather here to witness and affirm the harmony of spirit and of heart, manifest within you, brought forth from deepest hope, to be a force of healing in this world. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. You find your purpose in service to a light that emanates from each and every being that is life. We see the gifts that blossom in your care, and the people who are nourished by your love. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. May you go forth to mend what has been broken, to feed those who are hungry, to quench the ones who thirst, for a world of compassion, for mercy that abounds, and a place to dwell in sacred gentleness. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. All will be well, all will be well.
And this one, Terry specifically requested, along with half a dozen of you as well, including Judy, thank you so much, and Ella, thank you, and Eliza. Elisa, sorry, I don't have my readers on. It happens. So I hope that you all had a lovely dinner, and I hope that you're doing well wherever you are. As I sing, all will be well. And we are full on in summertime here in the cornfields of Illinois. And I have a concert tomorrow night in Victoria, British Columbia, and it is the custom in Canada to do a land acknowledgement before a concert begins, and I meant to do that this evening, but I just got right into the singing portion. So I do want to acknowledge that I live in DeKalb County, Illinois, which is the historic home of the Potawatomi and the Ottawa peoples. And yeah. This goes out to Terry.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear that real though far of him that hails the new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear that music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roar? I hear the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble sick with fear and hear their death knells ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? Through prison cells and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear that real though far of him that hails the new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear that music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? It sounds an echo in my soul. How can can I keep from singing? It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing?
Well, this next song is another one off the record that I recorded all of songs written by my good friend Cy Khan. It's a song that speaks to me personally a lot. I was delighted that several of you requested it, including Marchand. Thank you so much. And it's called Who Will Speak for Me?
Remember a time when chimneys rose so tall over every crossroads town. There were jobs for one and all. Politicians couldn't wait to shake each calloused hand by the midnight factory gate, praising the working woman and man. Who will speak for me? Who will speak for you? Who will stand for me? Who will stand for you? Like a house long neglected, lives are falling away. Those who line their pockets with our votes have nothing helpful to do or say. No, it's take from this and give to that and bleed the cupboard bare. They spit the future in our face, leave us hanging by a prayer. Who will speak for me? Who will speak for you? Who will stand for me? Who will stand for you? Like a dream drowned in silence, we are prisoners of our fears. And those who left us dangling hold steady jobs all year. You can shake their hand or shake your fist, but time will not be staying. Like shadows gone to ruin, like shadows on parade. Who will speak for me? Who will speak for you? Who will stand for me? Who will stand for you? Like a fighter hit too often, we are dazed down to the floor. But think before you count us out, we've come back from worse before. And those who bought and sold us down the river of our hope will live to see the day they beg for jobs and not for votes. Who will speak for me? Who will speak for you? Who will stand for me? Who will stand for you? You will speak for me. I will speak for you. You will stand for me. I will stand for you. You will stand for me. I will stand for you.
Great song, and a big thanks to Sycon for writing all those beautiful songs and handing them to me to record. This is, for those who have not seen it yet, an electric bouzouki. This is an acoustic bouzouki, though not built in the standard shape of a bouzouki. And both of these instruments are made for me by my friend Baird Blaine in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Each one of a kind, and really just a treat to play these instruments. And this is a song written by my dear friend John Brooks up in Toronto. And Judy and several others of you requested. You requested the song, I requested that it be in tune. How's that for a compromise?
To admire most a melody and all it could do with love and words. I used to admire most a poet who, with the pen untangled this world into verse. I used to admire all that I thought profound. Plagiarize the prophets and the saints. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. I waited out my low youth for a father's spectacle, line snaking round coliseums. I marched in the drench under fame's office clenched, and I paid hard-earned money just to see 'em. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. I admire the pure of heart that will one thing. I admire the steady in their routine. I admire decisions and the mind that endures it, and those who speak though they be shamed. I admire the reckless voices for the voiceless, and the man standing in the path of tanks. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy.
Well, we'll pause for just a moment here, long enough for me to say that this has been a challenging year. I now have 97 concerts and festivals that have canceled this year as a result of, everything. And everybody's trying to do their best in the virtual world. This weekend is the virtual Old Songs Festival, which I would have been at in person this weekend. And last weekend was the virtual Clearwater Festival, and there was a virtual Kerrville Festival. And all these places that I'm used to gathering with our community and our tribe are stepping up and doing such amazing work to keep the music happening. I want to give a special shout out to Ron Lesko and Folk Music Notebook. They have just really stepped up. Ron has done amazing work since COVID-19 happened, and thankless and all volunteer. So if you want to do a good deed, contact Ron through Folk Music Notebook and ask him how you can make a donation, because that would be really helpful to him and helpful to all the artists whose music he's keeping in circulation. And speaking of donations, Anna's running the stream tonight and is a huge help to me and a big support in the administrative end of this work and the technical end of it. She is the lead PR and web guru in the Jencks universe. So shout out to Anna, and she'll put some links up there that'll let you know how you can make donations for tonight's concert if you want to. Always welcome, never expected. I give freely what I have to give and hope that it does something good in the world. And to that end, this next song, Rise as One, was requested by Peter from Shady Grove Coffee House. A shout out to you folks. And thanks for requesting this. Rise as One.
Well, it is we who serve the lunches, and we who sweep the floors, and we who drive the buses with your children off to school. We keep the buildings warm in winter and cool when it's hot, and we will not let you play us for the fool. When we ask for better health care or an increase in our wage, you tell us that the township can't afford to pay the bill. But you found $500,000 from within those very coffers to try and break the union's back and break our will. And we will never give up, we will never give in, and we'll never ever go away. We will build a brand new future for our daughters and our sons. We will work till all workers rise as one. We believe in education and the future of our town, and the children that we serve from day to day. Whenever there's a need, we always go the extra mile. God knows we do it for the love, not for the pay. But we have worked as hard as any for every inch of ground that we've gained in the struggle for our rights. And we will not stand by idly as you try to tear us down. If we have to, we will organize a strike. And we will never give up, we will never give in, and we'll never ever go away. We will build a brand new future for our daughters and our sons. We will work till all workers rise as one. Well, we didn't have a penny in the strike fund, sad but true, that made us all a little bit afraid. But the call went out to every other union in the state, and somehow all the workers' bills were paid. You see, this isn't just our struggle, and it isn't just our jobs, and it isn't just the schools within our town. solidarity we stand. With every other worker all the world around, we'll never give up, sing it from home. We will never give up, we will never give in, and we'll never ever go away. We will build a brand new future for our daughters and our sons. We will work till all workers rise as one. Held a rally at the fairgrounds to show 'em our resolve, drum up some support for our campaign. 1,000 people hit the street, that's more than half our town. And after that, you know, things couldn't be the same. Well, whoever would have guessed it when this whole thing began? We'd have the strength to hold out for so long. But 3 months have now gone by, and the school board just gave in on their demands. Now we can sing our victory song. We will never give up, we will never give in, and we'll never ever go away. We will build a brand new future for our daughters and our sons. We will work till all workers rise as one. We will build a brand new future for our daughters and our sons. We will work till all workers rise as one. We will work till all workers rise as one.
Thanks so much for requesting that song, and a shout out to all of the educators. I know some of you are listening. Thanks for all the work you did this year to try and serve your students, and all the people that are support staff in the education system. Thank you so much for your work as well. I've already talked to several of you who are having a lot of reservations about what's coming in the fall and the likelihood that you may have to continue working remotely as educators. And I think, like myself as a musician, the fact that we have the possibility to do it is a blessing, but the fact that we have a necessity to do it is a bit of a vexation. So thanks for the great work, and keep it up. Well, this next song is going back even further in the Wayback Machine. This is a song that I wrote when I was a junior at music school, when I was a junior at conservatory. And I had for part of one semester, my freshman year, a roommate in college who was in the agribusiness program at the university, not in the music department, but Jay Tates, and he was studying all of the things he needed to know to become the next generation of family farmer in his family, and a big farm over near the Quad Cities in Illinois. And I went out there. We stayed in touch, and I went out there at one point during my junior year and visited the family and heard a lot of the stories. So this song is really about their family coming over from Europe, and they had been farmers over there as well, and came over here and got land, and they've been farming that land for generations now. It's called Thank God for the Rain.
It started in the old country. My ancestors, they came to the land of liberty to free themselves from shame. 150 acres, a booming farm back then, plowed the land with horse in hand and made the country strong. So thank God for the rain, it makes the dry land grow. Though some folks call it a pain, well, Lord, that just ain't so. Well, I've seen wonders happen from a thunderclap or two. How it works I'll never understand, but thank God for the rain. Now 1,600 acres my brother and I sow. With corn and beans we rotate, try to make the soil grow. Now tractors, planters, combines do the work of 50 men. My folks would call me lazy, but I work just as hard as they did then. So thank God for the rain, it makes the dry land grow. Though some folks call it a pain, Lord, that just ain't so. I've seen wonders happen from a thunderclap or two. How it works I'll never understand, but thank God for the rain. Well, I've worked so hard these last few years, but it's just been too dry. Sad to see my father's dream just barely gets me by. But if I live a good life, the Lord will bless this sea, come through with the sun and rain and give us what we need. So thank God for the rain, it makes the dry land grow. Some folks call it a pain, Lord, that just ain't so. But I've seen wonders happen from a thunderclap or two. How it works I'll never understand, but thank God for the rain. I've seen wonders happen from a thunderclap or two. How it works I'll never understand, but thank God for the rain. How it works I'll never understand, but thank God for the rain.
Thank you, Julie, for that request. I have not sung that song in a long time, and I'll note that the instrument that I'm playing here belonged to my dear friend Mark Spital, who passed away in 1999. And it's a one-of-a-kind guitar made specifically for him, the Wisdom Tree. You can't really see it, but down here is a beautiful inlay of a tree. And Mark was a really, really special human being. And I'm very honored to play this instrument, but it's so precious to me I never take it on the road. So one of the hidden benefits of giving concerts from my own home studio is that I get to play instruments I don't often play on the road. And the song was the perfect companion for this instrument. I had a request for this song from Mark Smith. Many of you know him from the DC area, Baltimore, huge music fan. He comes out and supports so many artists. And this is a song written by my good friend and dear colleague, Tom Prasada Rao. TPR wrote this. It's called $20 Bill, and Mark asked me to learn this song for this concert, and I'm so glad he did. What a beautiful song.
Some people die for honor. Some people die for love. Some people die while singing to the heavens above. Some people die believing in a cross on Calvary Hill. Some people die in the blink of an eye for a $20 bill. Some people go out in glory, yeah, with the wind at their back. Some get to tell their own story and write their own epitaph. Sometimes you see it coming, sometimes you don't know until you run out of breath with a knee on your neck for a $20 bill. Oh, brother, I never knew you, and now I never will. But I make this promise to you. I'll remember you still. Now let this be our communion. It's time to break the bread. Do this in remembrance, just like the good book said. Sometimes the wine is a sacrament, sometimes the blood is just spilled, sometimes the law is the devil's last straw, the future unfulfilled. Like the dream they killed for a $20 bill.
For George Floyd, rest in peace, brother. Rest in power.
I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. When I'm hungry, so hungry, there's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. I've never been one to sing about my troubles. I figure most of the world has enough of their own. But now and then I think that when we sing about our truth, maybe we light up a pathway for somebody else. So I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. Sometimes I wonder, when the whole world is quiet, when there's nothing to hear but the sound of my breath, why there's so many people with so many hurts, and none of us really knows quite how to love. So I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. I like to dream of a time when I'm happy, when I don't feel the sting of each pain in my bones. But then I reflect that the day I stopped feeling is the day that they lay me flat down in the earth. So I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me.
Thank you, Sue, for asking for that song. And I had a whole lot of requests for this next one. I know many of you know it. Most of you know it. Please feel free to sing along from wherever you happen to be. And yeah, it's a song I wrote about my own family's experience of immigration to this country, but it applies to so many. And of course, it doesn't speak to those who were displaced, the indigenous peoples, and it doesn't speak to the experience of those that were brought here as indentured servants and as slaves. It does not speak to those that were barred from ever pursuing citizenship simply for their ethnicity. But it is a story of how my family came here. And it talks about the obligation of welcome that we all have. It's called Lady of the Harbor.
Far away in distant lands, the tempest tossed with hopeful hearts and calloused hands reached toward the light. The torch held high and cast their gaze upon the Lady of the Harbor, and she welcomes them with open arms. She says, "Let my children in." it was with my own kin. They sailed from Sweden and from France and Ireland, their earthly cares packed in their bags. They cast their gaze upon the lady of the harbor, and she welcomed them with open arms. She said, "Let my children in." Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Now we're locking down the borders and we're filling up the jails, and we say they don't belong. How conveniently do we forget that we've all come to sing the same sweet song? Will the dream survive the strain? Will huddled masses have a chance to learn its sweet refrain? Or will we fall into our fears and turn our backs against the lady of the harbor? And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, "Let my children in." Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, "Let my children in." Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Oh you lady of the harbor.
So I wanted to give a shout out to some birthdays we have this week. Alice Schaefer with the Americana Community Music Association down in Florida. Happy birthday. James Regelin, Melissa Dagenhart, Miles Lynch, Carrie Catherine, a colleague of mine in Saskatchewan, marvelous singer-songwriter. Nina Gray out east, Vicki Jones up in Madison, Deidre McCullough in Atlanta, an amazing singer-songwriter. If you don't know her work, please go check it out. Penny Barisi in Ithaca. Happy birthday, Penny. A little bit late. And, of course, my dear friend Carrie Breen out in Colorado. Happy birthday to all of you this week. Again, a shout-out to the Garden Stage, to Daria and Jeff, to Joanne and Steve, and to Anna. And I've got a few more songs for you yet, but I thought I'd pause for just a moment and get that in there. I had, it is just warm in Illinois in the summer, even with air conditioning. There's nothing to be done about it. But I had a lot of requests for this next song as well. Thank you so much for that. And it will take me just a moment to tune into this. But the first on the list, the first to get back to me about this was Gary Schoenberger out in Long Island. So Gary, thank you for requesting this song, and Stephen and Vicky, thank you. Ellen, thank you. All the rest of you that requested this. Thanks. just going to pause and do this right. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. It's just the reality of live performance. It's how you know this is not pre-recorded, because why would you leave this in the show? I lived in Seattle for a long time and got to know a lot of folks in the commercial fishing industry. And I used to sit in the summertime. We'd have big parties in the backyard, and when the fishermen and fisherwomen would come in off of a run, they would often take the fish that were not in the best of shape, maybe got mangled in the net or in a roller. And that was a lot of the food that they would get to take home, just so it wasn't wasted. And so we'd have these big cookouts, and they would tell stories around burn barrels in the backyard. And this song came out of listening to those stories.
Back end of the season and the wind's bitter cold. It's just the sort of morning to make young boats feel old. The tanks are all topped off, we've got the permits free and clear. One more good haul could see us through until we start next year. But it's my call alone to making what I hate to blow. 6 families now, including mine, dependent on the things I think I know. I know the wind and water, and I am not afraid. Living off the ocean is a complicated trade. I never get my profit margins or my pride confused with the safety of this vessel or its good and hearty crew. But the time is now or never, and the weather looks to hold. I gather up the crew on deck, we bow our heads and pray before we go. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Well, I've fished in weather worse than this at least 100 times. I still can't shake the shivers that are crawling up my spine. 11 hours out, the swells are getting deep. We can't put the nets out and it's too damn rough to sleep. We stick it out till morning, things may calm down with the lights. But if it turns against us, we'll be lucky if we see another night. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Well, it was on a night like this my father went away. Even though my mother begged and pleaded him to stay, I was standing there waiting as his trawler left the docks, saw the pictures of the wreckage that they found upon the rocks. 7 men were rescued of the 9 that left that day. As they saw that captain, he was on the bridge. They swear they heard him say, St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crash out of the way. Bring them safely to their families or quickly to their graves. St. Christopher, I call on you this day. Now the difference between bravery and foolishness is small. A healthy sense of fear can bring perspective to us all. I know you men are hungry for the cash this sketch could bring. And if we go back empty, we'll be real tight come spring. But I've learned history's a lesson, and it isn't worth the pain. The things we stand to lose are so much greater than the things we have to gain. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crash out of the way. We will go back to our families. It isn't worth the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you. Christopher, we call on you. St. Christopher, we thank you for this day.
Well, this next song, I also got several requests for, but Suzanne and Mary, to you both, thanks in particular. It was the title track off of an album I released in 2009 called Links in a Chain. Here you go. Thanks. Late summer morning, front porch sweet, a tear in grandmother's eye, telling me tales of my mother's childhood, how they got by. Years of war, years of depression, they barely made it through. She smiles at me and says that wisdom, let it carry on in you. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, visible hands reaching through time. We each have a piece of the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in the chain. Girl Scout cookies, PTA, baseball games in the yard, potlucks in the parish hall. My parents worked so hard, now it's marble stone on the edge of town where we bow our heads and say 40 years, 7 children, and some well-worn wedding rings. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time.
a place, washing our hands, saying our grace, remembering those who gathered before us, teaching a child, turning a page, singing a song, standing on stage, adding our part to the chorus, links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a piece of the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a place in the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in the chain, links in the chain.
I've got 2 more requests for you tonight, and then we'll call it a night. But thank you so much. I literally it was like Pandora's box when I sent out that email inviting requests. I was astonished at how many of you responded. Thank you so much. And I had a special request from Mary and Steve down in Florida for this one. So, and Neil Braverman, my buddy out in Boston. Neil, thank you for asking for this song as well. I hope Apache's doing well tonight. Neil runs the Roslindale Open Mic. And he is an ally to many, many musicians. Often given some musicians their first opportunity to stand in front of a microphone and an audience. To each their own OCD.
I've given myself to flights of fancy to see what's around the next bend. I've given myself to things that are broken to put them together again. I've given up hope and I've given my best. It all depends on the day. I've given up so many things that I wanted, and still the sun rises each day. Some measure life by their losses and gains. For them there is never enough. But I measure life by the hearts I have known. For I've given myself to love. I've given the money I had in my pocket to someone in obvious need. I've given myself to the kindness of strangers, and I've given thanks for good deeds. I've given solace and I've given comfort. I've given a hand to a friend. I've given myself to the things I believe, though sometimes I don't know to what end. Some measure life by their losses and gains. For them there is never enough. But I measure life by the hearts I have known, for I've given myself to love. Some people say that they have no regrets, that life's just a roll of the dice. But I say if you live life paying attention, you see that each choice has a price. I've given some people more than they bargained, and others still cause for concern. I've given myself to the fire of passion, and I have been willingly burned. And just when it seems that the story is over, and all that remains is goodbye, there is one thing of which you can be certain: I'll always give love one more try. Some measure life by their losses and gains. For them there is never enough. But I measure life by the hearts I have known, for I've given myself to love. Yes, I measure life by the hearts I have known, for I've given myself to love.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for being with me tonight. Thank you so much to the Garden Stage, to Anna Ratliff helping out with the back-end admin and all kinds of things. Thanks to Kate Blaine and to Tom Conley for various forms of show support. Shout out to Ron Lesko and Folk Music Notebook, Charlie Pilzer at Tonal Park in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Daniel Senni, who is with the Local 1000, AFM Local 1000 tech crew, among other things. Also, he and Faith, great musicians. And of course, my good friend Joe Giza in the Detroit area. As I have been talking about all the shows that are canceled, I wanted to wrap this evening up with some bits of good news, which is that I will be traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan in July to do a show from the Ark in Ann Arbor. I'm very excited about that. Stay tuned for that information. I think the date is the 24th of July, and they're still figuring out whether or not they'll be able to open for some actual in-person seating. But of course, you'll be able to access that online. And some of you who want to travel to the Ark may be able to come hear a live concert at the Ark, this beautiful national treasure of a venue. And then about a month later in August, I think the 22nd, I'll be traveling out to Saratoga Springs, New York to do a live concert at Cafe Lena. Some of you recall the first broadcast show I did after the COVID curtain fell was from Cafe Lena on March 20th. And Sarah Craig has kindly invited me to come back. So stay tuned to the calendar for those things. And in between, I'll be performing for the Goderich Celtic Roots Festival the second weekend in August. And they have been working hard to boot up for a virtual festival. And I'll be doing an actual live broadcast set from here, tied in with the Goderich Folk Festival. Cheryl Prashker, thank you so much for all the hard work you're doing there. And yeah, just really excited to be having opportunities to keep putting music in the world. And as I've said, donations are totally welcome tonight, never expected, but always appreciated. It is allowing me to keep my ducks in a row while the road really isn't much of an option. I hope that you and your people are all well. I hope that you are staying well and staying cautious and staying engaged in the world around us in whatever ways you can. I'll close up with this song, Love is the Reason. Deb, thanks for the request. And again, a shout out to Garden Stage. Thanks so much for partnering with me for this concert. Have a good night, everybody.
There was a time when all I ever needed was your smile to chase away my rain. But now it seems that hopeful light is hiding behind a cloud of anger and pain. I thought everything I was looking for was right here within my reach. I think it's time we finally take our chances and let our hearts speak louder than our fear, because love is all I ever wanted. Love is the reason I'm still here. Well, the sage said to the fisherman on the boat, cast your nets on the other side. And with nothing short of astonishment on their faces, they said, don't you think we tried? And he said, what if everything you're looking for is right there within your reach? I think it's time we finally take our chances and let our hearts speak louder than our fear, because love is all I ever wanted. Love is the reason I'm still here. I don't know where our story goes from here. Too many pages left unread. How to carve a pathway through this labyrinth we've built, with all that's left unsaid. What if everything we're looking for is right here within our reach? I think it's time we finally take our chances and let our hearts speak louder than our fear, because love is all I ever wanted. Love is all you ever wanted. Love is all we ever wanted. Love is the reason. Love is the only reason. Love is the reason we're still here.
thanks so much, everybody. See you next time. Have a great night.